Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Spencer. If you wish to get a positive asylum in Germany, this channel is for you. If you also know some people who know some people who know some people who also know some people who wishes to get positive asylum in Germany, please link them to this channel. This channel is for them. But please, it doesn't entirely depend on what I'm going to tell you. It also depends on your story. Your story must add up. If you are issued a positive asylum in Germany, you'll be issued a resident permit and a refugee passport, which you can use to travel to many countries of your choice. You cannot travel to America. If you want to go to America, especially if your passport will not allow you to travel to America before, you have to go to the embassy and seek for a visa or demand a visa. Oh my God, it's very windy here, so I have to put on glasses. I'm very sorry, guys. So on the day of your asylum interview, you will be seated in a hall, many of you. But before then, let's come back a little bit before. When you seek asylum, okay, and they will give you a date of appointment or rendezvous, which you're gonna come for your asylum. Sometimes this asylum might be twice. Some people it takes sometimes 3 times. They can even interview you up to 3 times if your story doesn't add up. Maybe if they want to tease you or something. Some people get just 1 time, some people get twice, some people even get up to 3 times. So it just depends on the city or the person, or if they don't have jobs to do. Sometimes they just call you, we want you again, we want you to repeat the story which you told us. So this times, so don't expect it. If you see it twice or even 3 times, it's not a strange thing. It can happen. These things happen. So if you're given an appointment on the day of your asylum interview, it's sometimes usually in the morning or even in the evening. So you are not the only one. You're gonna be many in the hall. So when you guys get to that hall, of course, individually, you will meet some guys who are already sitting there, who already had their appointments on that same date. So you just sit, calm down, don't worry. I know you want to think that it's in a court and maybe a judge will be sitting on one high table. No, it's not. It's just in it usually happens also in these refugee camps. Not actually, it's like how am I gonna put it? This thing, it's not in a refugee camp, but it's a place that has been created for that, okay? But it's not in a court where you think that you're gonna get, they call them judges. The people who interview, they call them judges. They are not actually judges. They are not the real judges which you think. So, and it's not also in a high court where you're gonna think that. No, so you don't have to be scared. It's just in a hall, and you will be called one by one into a room. It's actually very simple if you have experienced it, okay? If you've never experienced it, it seems very difficult. Sometimes your heart will be blinking, will bleed, and you think that it's something extraordinary which you're going to experience. No, it's very, very simple thing, okay? Just make sure your story add up, which I'm really going to emphasize again on that. So on that fateful day, you guys will be sitting. When the judge call you, when you hear your name, you go into a room, a certain room. So what you meet there, you meet the judge and you meet a translator. If you are not a French speaker or an English speaker, you meet someone who will translate. When you speak in English, the person will tell the judge what, or sometimes these judges, they understand English, okay? So it's the judge who's gonna speak, and the translator gonna tell you what the judge has spoken, okay? So if you are from Africa, sometimes the translator might be an African. If you're French, sometimes the translator might be from France or from a French African, or a French, from France. They might just be, but usually when you are from African, the translator might be an African. Sometimes it happens. Okay, so first thing first is that you have to be very vigilant. Okay, you have to understand everything the translator is going to tell you. No sentiments, please. Don't create any dramatic scene there. Don't create any dramatic scene. So he's going to ask you, call you and say, oh, Mr. This. So how did you arrive? What's your name? Maybe you have some documents to show. So you only have, if you already know yourself, okay? If you had initially given any document at the initial place which you seek your asylum, because that's an interview. It means that you must have passed some process before. Okay, the process of you going first into the first building, the first time you seek, you gave one document. Maybe some people gave, some people didn't give. So if you are not giving any document, so and you if your story doesn't add up, please don't give any document. Just say, okay, you know how you do it. Some people say their document is misplaced, it's lost, so or something. So if you are already given maybe a document, please repeat the same document which you have given. If he asks you, you give him, okay, the same document which you gave initially. Okay, if you are not really giving a document, or if you wish you want to give a document, please, if you don't know your story yet, maybe your document should be an expired photocopy of your passport. Maybe. Okay. Okay. So maybe you tell him, yeah, I don't have a document here with me, or I already have document which I gave, the same document I gave to that place, I'm giving here. Always make sure that if you really want to give a document, try to give an expired photocopy of your passport, or a document which you are an expired document. Okay. Some people give their real document and it came very well for them. It happened very well. They gave them positive. Some people didn't. Also, so it just depends, and it also depends on your stories. So it's also going to ask you, how did you arrive in Germany? Okay, so please, there you must tell him your truth. You must tell him if you arrive, because they already know it's Schengen. Okay, where you arrive, they already know where you arrive. So if you arrive, if you are seek asylum before, if you had sick, yeah, you tell him everything which you had done. If you already have a document in another country, that one, people don't tell. If you already have a document, if you already have your document in another country, you will not tell. You will not say you have document in this in another country, because you are just making things easy for him, so he will just have to send you back. There's this thing that is happening always here. Okay, a country like Greece, okay, Greece doesn't have jobs, so many people have documents. A lot of Arab people have documents from Greece. So since they don't have a job, they use their document and come over here, seek asylum in Germany, just to have a place to stay and so that they can work. When they will now, what happens is that Germany will send a letter with these names to Greece and ask if these people had already seek asylum there. Okay, so they can send the information of these people. But Greece is in Europe. It's a poor country, and their bureaucracy is also very slow. But they can do it, just that they don't want to do it. These poor countries, they don't want Germany to be sending immigrants back into their country, because they don't have that money to be taking care of all of them. So they prefer not to reply Germany. People who can stay here even up to 10 years, 5 6 years, with their documents from another country, but they have come here, they seek asylum. Germany is writing these countries, but these countries are not replying, because these countries don't want charges on all these other immigrants. They don't have the money to be taking care of them, so they prefer not to be replying Germany. It's all happening everywhere. Germany, right? Italy, Spain, all these countries, they don't reply because they don't want Germany to be sending all the immigrants back to them. So they believe that Germany has money, Germany should take care of them. If they are already there, Germany should take care of them. So coming back to what we were saying, the judge is also going to ask you, okay, why did you leave your country? This is a very important question which he's going to ask you. But now is how you respond that is going to determine your positivity or your negativity of your asylum. So, but my tip here is that, please, when you are responding to this, you have to be very concrete. Respond only to what the judge asks you. Do not reply more. Don't talk much. Don't be over sabi. Okay, don't talk much. Just be very concrete with the questions which he asks you. How did you arrive here? Why did you leave your country? He's going to ask you countries you have been before coming to Germany. You will tell him that. That's okay. You will tell him that. That one has no problem. But why did you leave your country now? Okay, now that's the thing, because he has to write. While you are talking, the judge will be writing every statement which you are saying. Everything you're saying, he's writing. He's typing there from his computer. So you say you leave your country. Please, another one important factor is when you are talking, when he asks you that question and responding, you're replying, don't use we. Don't use we. Center his question only around you. Okay, he didn't ask about you guys, he said you. So don't stop saying we when we were. Okay, don't use we. Make sure you say I. Always talk to him and say I did this. He wants to know how the problem which you want to explain to him affected you in person. Okay, you that are there, you that are seeking the asylum, how did the problem affect you until you left and come to Germany? He's not interested in any other person. He's got a family. He got a family to take care for cater for. So he's just there to do his job. He has to give reply. So he wants to just only know why, how the problem, why you left, and what really made you to leave. Also, he knows that you are lying because he has experienced a lot of people like you who are also there, who are coming to lie. So he knows that so many Africans, Arab, many people are coming here and they are lying about their asylum. So that's what he has in his mind, that you guys are lying. You are here to just work. He knows why, the reason you are here, just to work your money and maybe be happy, create a family for yourself, take care of your family. He knows, but he wants you to give him the beautiful lie which you're going to lie to him. Just make sense. Just make sure that your lie is making sense to him. It should not be a very stupid lie. It should be a lie that makes sense to him. You know, for example, when you're talking, this is another tip. When you're talking, please make sure you give him date, time, reference. These are references. It really helps a lot on your asylum. When you are talking to him and you quote date, you said, this is the day I left Cameroon Tuesday on 2007, and I came to Europe, and my first country was this. As you're talking, he's writing everything. So, and why you left, because maybe something broke out and this affected me to leave. Okay, I couldn't take care. You can also be very honest and say it was because of poverty. Okay, but what you should not use, please, what you should, I'm repeating again, what you should not use is you telling him about witchcraft, supernatural, superstitious things, and you telling him no, somebody was bewitched. Or you start telling him dramatic things, like for example, you tell him he said God spoke to you, and you start using words like it was Jesus that told me to do this, all this time. Those are dramatic scenes. Okay, it doesn't make any sense to him. Okay, he has the right to write anything on that paper, and said when he's sending that paper, giving that report, okay, he can write anything and say you didn't speak, you made a lot of sin, you caused a lot of sin, you wasted his time and stuff like that. Okay, he's actually not the one to make the decision. He's not the one to make that decision on your positive asylum or your negative asylum. So he has to make that report. They have to deliberate on it again before they make a decision on your asylum. So don't think that if you try to impress him there, it has an impact to play on your asylum. You might just be making things worse, but you don't know. Okay, so for ladies, okay, ladies have their way of doing it. So they have pity for ladies. The ladies usually have out of let's say 6 out of 10 ladies will usually have asylum in Germany. 3 out of 10 men will have asylum in Germany. Even 2, if not 2, will have asylum in Germany. So you can understand how difficult it is for men to have asylum in Germany. Very difficult, unless your story really adds up. If you have a good story to tell, especially, and give good references, yeah, you can be very much assured that your asylum can be positive in Germany. I know a lot of people who have gone to the asylum interview and they told the judge, okay, please, my family live in abject poverty. We live in abject poverty. I can't cater for this nobody. I want to pay the school of, I don't want my family to be homeless. My kid brother are not going to school. Nobody is doing anything. So I had to undertake a journey, this kind of journey, maybe a very dangerous journey, and cross the Mediterranean Sea and got here until I got here, and now I had to seek asylum. So the judge is going to ask you, so why did you not seek asylum in the first country which you arrived? You say no, because like I said, my family is living in abject poverty, and in those countries which I've passed, I could not get a job. I look around, I've seen people living there, so I knew that my last hope was Germany. So when I got there, I just had to seek asylum because this is what I want to do for my family, and that's the reason why I'm seeking asylum. And some people had the it just depends. Some people had it just for saying that. Okay, I'm not saying that it's a very concrete statement because Germans are very direct person. He might also think that, but this is not the reason. In many countries, in Cambodia, there are a lot of poor people. So if I want to say because your family live in abject poverty, so what, many of all these countries, even in China, there are a lot of poor people as well, even in many countries. So why all these people can come here and I just accept them because they live in abject poverty? So they'll say no, it's okay to live in abject poverty. So some people will just say no, I'm not. Just depend on who are the people who are deliberating on your asylum case. Okay, so some people, but so, like I said, that might not be a good reason, but if you give a good reason which which made them believe that maybe you are running away from your life, especially when you tell them I'm running away from my life, okay, because somebody was supposed to do something harmful to me or my family, and because of this, I don't want to die. I don't want to do this. You see, I don't want to lose my life because of that. Okay, they are very much interested in that. They are really interested in why you are running away, okay, why you should not lose your life, okay. That part, if you give them a good reason to make them believe why you're running away from your life, you might have asylum for that, because they don't want you to die, so they want to give you, because if you tell them a good story about why you ran away, no, they might give it to you, okay. So especially if you tell them that now, okay, you don't tell them again. It's old school when they ask you questions and you just bend your head down, start crying. I know that one is old school. Okay, they don't believe in that again. And you don't tell them you were in a terrorist group or any kind of group that did harm, because they believe that these kind of groups have done a lot of harm. So you don't tell them you were in any kind of group. Okay, those kind of group that have done harmful things to other people. No, you don't tell them. Okay, they will just prepare your deportation immediately. That kind of group it's not good here, so you don't tell them. You must tell them why you are here, concrete reason. And please, as you are talking, like I said, don't talk more than you were supposed to talk. After you finish, okay, please tell the translator or the judge, I want to read everything you have written. So they'll give you back all what he has written. He's going to give you back everything, or he will read it to you. Sometimes even if he read it to you, tell him, please show me on the paper in English form, okay, in the language you can understand. So when he does it, he will read everything to you, and anything which he didn't add onto your story, you can ask him to correct it. Please, this one I didn't say that, or I didn't mean this way, okay, so please add this story, or cancel this place, cancel this place. So he's going to cancel the sentences which you don't want, and you can also add sentence which you also want to your asylum. So that's the copy. When you finish that, he's going to do that and send it immediately, and that's all. And if your asylum makes sense, you just go sit and await your response. And this is Germany, okay, your response can even come up to after 5 years. So don't be very surprised. You might be living in Germany for up to 5 years and your response has not yet arrived, okay, they have not decided on your asylum. So it's normal. So but what people do is, why they are waiting for their response, they keep making money, because you are allowed to work, you're allowed to drive, you're allowed to do many other things. So while you're waiting for your response, you can be living your life and be waiting for your response. Before your response comes, if it is negative or positive, you must have prepared financially anyhow, so that your response or it's not going to affect you in any way. All right. And also, if your response come earlier and if it is negative, you have the right to appeal again. You can appeal so many times, so don't worry about it. If it is negative and you think that no, the world is on you, no, 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 you can as always appeal again. Okay, so you can appeal and appeal and appeal anytime, until sometimes they even get tired and just call you and give you a humanitarian. They might not accept, but they might give you a humanitarian, which is also equivalent to, it's a little bit, it's like they're accepting your asylum. So they also have to give you, it means if they give you humanitarian protection, means that they have to give you a resident permit. So it's like protection as well. It's an asylum, it's like they have accepted, but it's not the, it just depends, it's just on article. This humanitarian is under article 25, so it means they have recognized your asylum. So you can also go through the same process. If you don't have, if you want a traveling passport, you might also ask them that you want a traveling passport. So but that humanitarian doesn't come immediately with passport. You are the one to apply for it, for your refugee passport. Then if they accept your asylum, you must understand that you don't have the right to go to your country. The day you go to your country, the day your asylum terminates, that decision, they revoke that resident permit immediately. So they will say, okay, so you can go back to your country. Then why did we give it to you? So you can just go. And when they accept your asylum also, you can bring your family members here. Even if you are living in a refugee camp, okay, you can as well bring your family members, like you want to protect them. So you bring your family members which you want and protect them in Germany. Even if they are living elsewhere in another country, you can bring them. So Germany is going to take responsibility on that. Yeah. And if you are given a humanitarian protection, or if your asylum has been accepted, you have 1 year to do the integration course. Okay, everything is fully covered. The German government pays for everything, and you will be paid every month. You will be paid your housing, everything will be covered by the German government. You will be given a salary for, you'll be given a salary, I don't know, it's like 400 euros, 400 euros, yeah, 400 euros, and everything will be covered. 400 euros or a little bit more, a little bit 450, something like that. But your expenses, your school will be covered, your housing will be covered. So this money you just have to feed. So guys, thank you very much. If this has really helped, please subscribe to the channel, so let's grow the channel. If it has really helped you in one way or the other, share the video. Okay, subscribe, put on your notification bell on, so that each time I post a video, YouTube gonna notify you. Thank you very much.